and I believe in you. I believe in the simple things and everything you do. I believe in the heavens above, and I believe in truth. I believe in the love we have, because I believe in you. So tell me, do you feel the way that I feel? Then tell me, would you give what I'm willing to give? I believe in honesty, and I believe it's true, and I believe if you set it free, it will come back to you. And I believe that things were meant to really be, and I believe in the love we have, because I believe in you.
Hi! Welcome to Cancer Kickers, formerly known as iCureCancer.com or iCureCancer, the radio show. Hi, everybody. We're still a little bit...
I love that, Cancer Kickers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Kicking cancer and taking names.
That's all Cynthia. She came up with that idea.
All we got is cancer, kicking, and bubblegum. We're all out of bubblegum.
Well, I wanted to actually call it Cancer Ass Kickers, but like with the website and the domain and all that stuff, and like we are trying to get over to cable, so I thought I'd clean it up a bit and, take the ass out of it for once.
For once.
I don't even know
if I'm allowed to be on this show. I might not be old enough. That's for adults.
Yeah. We gotta wait for you to turn 18, I think, and then get you back on, huh? Yeah. Well, hi, everybody. So, I wanted to do a call-in show. Don't fret. I want to put out a thank you to my high school friend. Her name's Cynthia Farrell, one of my biggest supporters, and she's posting all over the place. So if you guys, we might be having a little problems with the phones. So if you can't call in, don't worry about it. We're going to be answering some questions. We're going to do another call-in show. I love these call-in shows. They're a hoot and a holler.
You could go to, one of the things that you could do, if you're listening and you want, and you can't get a hold of, through the call-in number, try the call-in number here in a second. I'll get it and say it out loud. But you can go to, ucy.tv and there's a chat room. Just, pick out, I don't know if it's changed from iCure Cancer to Cancer Kickers yet, but you can just...
No, it hasn't.
Okay, well, just go to iCureCancer.com at ucy.tv. You'll see the icon. It's playing now. I'll bring you to a chat room. You can just pick an anonymous name and then ask a question, and I'll read it out loud.
Don't pick Brad Pitt, though. If you pick an anonymous name and it's Brad Pitt, you'll never get rid of me.
Right, or Bon Jovi, right?
Oh, that's funny.
No, Vanessa likes Bon Jovi. Do you know that somebody actually said to me that I look like that guy Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi?
Somebody told you look like John Bon Jovi?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it was a lesbian, so maybe it was a compliment. I don't know.
Maybe,
oh my God, maybe, if I wanted in your pants, that's exactly what I would say.
Really?
What? That's the craziest? In what demographic is that the right pickup line?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta go back in time to the 80s in Jersey and be like, oh, you look like John Bon Jovi. Like, when is that gonna work?
I'm in the 80s.
In the 80s. Get my DeLorean, go back in time, and go back to the 80s.
Get my shoulder pads.
Yes.
Oh my God. Remember the big, huge bangs, blowing your bangs up until you look like you were a hang glider?
Hey, I still do that. You mean that's out?
Yeah, I used to do that myself. I was a teenager in the 80s.
Yeah, I was a fetus, but I was blow drying in the womb.
Cynthia was born with a cigarette in one hand and a curling iron in the other.
You got that right, baby. Hey guys, I'm just going to announce the call-in number again too. It's 718-717-8296. Once again, 718-717-8296. Or you can go to, again, jjucy.tv, I Cure Cancer or ICC, and there's a chat room there, right? JJ?
Oh, yeah, that's a friend. Sorry, I was plugging something in.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and if I'll read out loud any questions that anyone has, but try to call. I'm not sure. The numbers were supposed to be forwarded to me.
Yeah, try to call. It's so much fun. Give us a hard time. We're bored.
Oh my God. So funny.
One of the things, first I just want to say, like, I don't know if any of you guys are feeling this out there. So I haven't even had a chance, and some of you don't like astrology, and I know some of you dig it. So I always kind of look on the planets to see what's going on. Something's going on today. Well, plus, the big meteor shower and stuff like that. I gotta tell you. Yeah, I did too. It was cloudy here in Hollywood anyway. So, I didn't have a chance today to even look up what's going on, and I was in such a funk. I woke up at 6 a.m. and I didn't have to get up that early, and tried to get back to sleep and couldn't, and then did this cool meditation, which I'll post, a new one. I really liked it, by this woman on YouTube. Had a crazy ass dream. Vanessa's cracking. She's trying to hold her laughter in.
Oh my. My face looks like a pursed lemon because I'm all like, oh God, don't laugh because I know what's coming.
You can laugh.
Dude, I can't.
It was the strangest thing, and then I woke up and I'm like, no, because it's a stress dream, nightmare. Then went back and had the exact same one. The first one was like, I was on some fabulous, and you guys chime in if you want to, say what this dream was about. I was at some fabulous resort that I couldn't freaking afford. And, I was there it was very distinct, 3.5 weeks. And, it's long. I'm just going to go short with it. I had this great room and all that. And then the day before I'm leaving, I go around the resort and I find all of these other much more fabulous, and like these rooms that you could walk down and swim straight into the ocean. And then one of my old boyfriends, shows up. Yeah. And wants to get back to...
Just enter my laughter because I know the guy.
Wants to try to work things out after 15 years. Was very strange. And then the anxiety, like I realized I had 3 weeks of clothes and crap all over the place, and I had to pack within an hour. And I had actually sprawled my clothes all over the resort.
Oh my God.
So I have that reoccurring nightmare. I don't know what it's about. I'm going to miss my plane and all that stuff. I spent all my money, so if I miss my plane, I don't even have money to buy another plane ticket, blah, blah, blah. So I woke up, I'm like, no. Okay, Cynthia. And I know about all these different techniques, which I'm willing to talk about how to get yourself out of that nightmare mode and fall back to sleep. I did. I fell back to sleep. Had almost the exact same dream, but this time it's Ian Jacklin is my boyfriend. Who is, he's the host of I Cure Cancer.
Right.
And it was so bizarre because I'm like, I gotta pack, and he's like, well, what do you think about us getting back to... I'm like, we can't talk about that right now. What time does our plane leave? I don't know.
Oh my God.
So I woke up, it was just crazy. So I woke up in such a funk, and what I like is, I really like I think it's so important to tell the truth about where you are at that given moment. So Vanessa, dear heart that she is, she ran and grabbed me a little bite to eat, and I greet her at the door, and she's like, how are you? And I'm going, weird. And she's like, cool. And I've talked to a few other people. We're all kind of in a hazy funk. So, it's okay. And it's weird today. So call in with your weirdness or chat with your weirdness. But, that's just one thing I like when, I feel like sometimes we're just all too hard on ourselves, and we're all trying to be like perfect all the time. And we kind of lie I do it, like, I'm great. I'm lying. I'm awful.
For some of us, it just comes naturally.
What's that?
It just comes naturally for some of us.
Yeah, but not, you.
I can't help the way I am.
And it's so funny because every day's a different day, and, sometimes you don't know if you're having a good day.
Some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield, Cynthia.
I love that.
Oh my God, that's great.
He posted that in a chat box with me.
Yeah.
In my chat box.
So you posted that in your box?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
JJ's generous that way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, say it again, JJ.
Some days you're the bug and some days you're the windshield. You're the windshield.
Yeah. Awesome.
Those are words to live by. My wife is obviously rolling her eyes, but.
I don't know what's happening in the rest of the country weather-wise, but in California, it's really hazy here, and some people who grew up here, I imagine, they're like, oh, it's a change in weather, that's nice, the sun's not shining. But those of us who came from climates where it's gray for 9 months a year,
tundra.
When I come out here, I'm like, this is not what I signed up for. Where is that sun? I want sunny and 75 every day of the year. Every day. Today it was like, do I do coffee? Should I just go do some jumping jacks in the front yard? Like, why is the sun not shining?
Me too. Should I smoke crack today? What should I do?
Or crack.
Yeah.
Just have some crack.
I always fall back on Sherm. I like to, when I first started doing my show with my friend Rob over on Oracle Broadcasting, I used to always talk about it. Smoking Sherm. It was kind of our inside joke.
I know what that is.
I don't know what Sherm is.
I know
never
what it
touched
is.
it.
Vanessa's too young to know what it is. I know that's an 80s thing again, isn't it?
Yeah, California is where I heard about it.
What is it?
It's actually like a cigarette dipped in embalming fluid.
Oh, what? Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Joint.
And what were those cigarettes called? Sherman Oaks or something like that?
I used to just hear of them called Sherm sticks, but I'm sure they're called different things, different places.
Yeah, well, the real cigarette itself is called a Sherman. It was called a Sherman something.
Oh.
I don't think it was Oaks.
Well, see, I'm not really up on my Sherm terminology. So
how did it make you feel? What was the?
I don't know. I've never tried it. It was a joke.
Oh, somebody told you about it.
Yes. I've never tried it.
You didn't inhale, right?
No, I didn't inhale.
Exactly. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, also, one of the things I wanted to talk about was, again, people have been calling me about the migraine headaches. And, the food formula works, which is a combination of the white rice, the full-blown sodium soy, and I always used Perrier. I don't work for the company. I'm not pushing them. I don't know that for some reason, other bubbly goodies don't work. For me, the Perrier always works.
Wait. Can you bring us up to speed? So when people have a migraine headache, you can heal it by eating, what was it, white rice?
Not brown, has to be white rice.
White rice. What was the next step?
Full-blown sodium soy sauce.
So like La Choy Chinese food, like go get the soy sauce. La Choy Chinese food, American. I'm not singing the old commercial, but that's like just go to the store and get yourself some soy sauce.
Yeah.
And then Perrier. And you eat them all like, would you have to, how would you consume them? You don't have to eat them all in one bite, right? You can have them simultaneously or?
No, you have to snort the soy sauce.
Christ, no, I'm being serious.
You have to do a Perrier enema.
That's not true. That's not true. What do you have to do?
You just eat them all together and,
so like you could make your rice and put the soy sauce on it and then drink some Perrier.
Yeah,
your meal.
Yeah. And it's good. It works. It really works. And it's good if your stomach, which with crazy awesome, not awesome, but awful, I meant, migraines, usually you can't eat anyway, but it always works best. The emptier your stomach is, the better. And you'll start watching it dissipate. It's crazy. And
wow.
Yeah, and I will say that after I stumbled upon that in my early 20s and I told my mother about it, and oddly enough, she calls a few years later and she's like, they're doing studies on migraine and soy.
Wow.
Yeah. But then, so that's great. But the thing with everything else is, you gotta do the emotional, spiritual work.
Yeah.
And,
because otherwise it's just a Band-Aid.
It is.
Slapping a Band-Aid on it. You gotta see what the root cause is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna love what I'm gonna tell you next. But, especially, like I'm always from point A to point B as quickly as you can. If, you're in massive, massive pain, just get to feeling better first. Then do spiritual work, you can take an Advil. I take Advil from time to time. And, go ahead and do that. But the part that I think you might find interesting is in all these years of counseling, I've not yet found an exception to this. The spiritual, and brace yourself, you guys, and, I'm gonna brace yourself. But what I've found the energy is every time is extreme rage at the mother.
Really? So when somebody's suffering from migraines, your experience in counseling has been that was the root cause?
Mine too.
Wow.
Mine too. And it's like really pent up rage. Rage to the point where it's like, it's not even like moving lava anymore. It is, it's dried, it's solid, and you really need to crack that up. And now I'm going to say something really gross, but for my migraine sufferers, I think they're going to love this. One time, because, I've been very open that I was in psychoanalysis for 20 years and did some great work there. There are some horrible shrinks out there, and there's some good shrinks, just like everything else. There's some good elves out there, and then there's some bad elves in every profession. Didn't get the laugh I thought I would.
I was actually listening intently. I'm like, did I miss something? Why is she talking about elves? That was literally what just happened. I was like, maybe this is a metaphor for something else I don't know about. Okay, got it.
Okay, scratch that joke. Anyway, it's a rough crowd tonight. Dan, how's that roast beef?
Oh my God, don't forget to tip your waitresses.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to tip your waitress.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, naturally.
They'll
Absolutely.
spit in your food.
And more.
That's true.
Uh-oh.
Well,
more.
Exactly. Well, my growth story is that I was in, the midst, I don't even know how I got to my shrink's office. My migraines would get so bad, and this is back in the 80s and 90s when they prescribed codeine. I don't know if anybody knows that, but
wow.
I was loaded on codeine still. I was losing my speech. It was so intensely painful that I was actually my tongue wouldn't work almost.
When you
Yeah.
when you had
I can't get away from the toilet. It just they make me just vomit until I feel like I want to die.
Well, how about this then? You'll like this. This is interesting. So I've already been having them for years. We've been working on, the anger issues and things like that, not getting specifically to the mother yet. And, but just in general, I'm working on that. We must have tapped on something. And then all of a sudden, this is where it gets gross. I'm sorry, but I told my shrink, oh my God, I'm going to have a diarrhea attack. I have to run to the bathroom. So she says, go ahead. So I did, and it was a lot. I mean, really a lot. And, I was there for a good 5 minutes, and then finally, I kind of was feeling better and got myself together and still in the stall, stand up to pull up my pants, and I'm like, my migraine is completely gone.
Wow.
So in that moment, I kind of...
You were dealing with a lot of shit.
Oh, snap. She did not.
I just went there. I'm so sorry.
Awesome.
That's funny.
Well, if you think about it now, if you think about it all on an energy level. So there's, she's awesome.
I'm laughing at myself. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Usually she's over here playing with herself. So go ahead and laugh.
Guys, I'm blushing.
I'm not the one who had a sex dream last night. Okay. My dreams last night were about strawberry shortcake food. I was having dessert dreams last night. I was a dessert dream about refined sugar.
Well, anyway, if you think of the whole body and everything, the air around you, just think of it all as energy for a little bit. So what happened was, in the stall, I released a tremendous amount of energy. And there's an old, cure for not only, and it doesn't work 100% of the time, but there's a cure for, the migraines, and, actually Acme is doing an enema. And just pulling out all those toxins. But it's the reason it's not 100% is if that energy isn't ready to be released, or it hasn't been shaken up in a way that it can be released, then, you're not going to get all of it. You're not going to get split-second results like I did. For whatever reason, as a young girl, something was going on with me on that time, and I was ready to release that. But the important thing is I remember noting to myself, I'm like, okay, this migraine, and it's a good way, it's a new way of looking at it. I was like, okay, migraine, you're an illusion.
Wow.
Like anything that real can't be gone in seconds.
Right.
Yeah. So that was actually really good on a psychological level and a mental level, because they say once you begin to look differently at the things, Try again. Just repeat. Once you change the way you look at things, the things you're looking at begin to change.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that cool?
That's really nice.
Yeah, that's not me, that's Einstein.
Oh, details.
Thank you.
What's the difference?
We're getting married after the show. JJ, would you like to perform the services?
Are you a licensed
qualified?
JJ?
Well, you can get ordained in 3 seconds on the internet.
Okay. Yippee. I can't wait. Well, we had a wedding at our Freedom Palooza last year. I host an annual event, 3-day event down in Pennsylvania. We had a wedding there last year.
Did you?
Yes, we actually did. Not sure what'll happen this year, but it's sure to be crazy.
Well, if Vanessa and I come.
It's in Pennsylvania. If you can make it, that would rock.
Yeah, when is it actually?
July 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Awesome. Wow, that's coming up.
30 bands and 30 speakers. Speaker band all day long for 3 days.
And it's, what did you call it? Freedom Palooza?
Freedom Palooza.
And what are the themes for the speakers?
Everything. Let's see. We'll have, we'll have like third-party candidate speakers, Second Amendment speakers. I have a industrial hemp speaker coming, a medical cannabis speaker coming, probably some alternative energy, just a little bit of everything. A lot of political corruption speakers.
Yeah. That's really cool. What part of Pennsylvania?
Kintersville, near Allentown.
Okay.
Near Bethlehem.
Yep.
And all you have to do is go to freedompalooza.com.
Okay.
Isn't that where Jesus is from?
Bethlehem. If you call one of the most evil men in the world, Sheldon Adelson, he's the one that bought up the old Bethlehem Steel and turned it into a Sands casino. I mean, when I was a kid, like if you would drive through Bethlehem, which is just the other side of Allentown, it was all, like middle class communities and affluent people who worked at Bethlehem Steel, and
it was the setting for Flashdance.
Yeah, it's a frickin'
Okay, hold it.
It was on cable about 2 months ago, and I watched it again and cried the whole time.
Well, now that Bethlehem Steel's gone, the place is turning into a slum. I mean,
it's awful.
I still can't breathe that she knew that Flashdance was from Bethlehem or what have you.
It might have been Allentown, but it was close, or maybe Altoona. Maybe it was Altoona. I can't remember, but it was a steel mill town.
Well, Bethlehem Steel was what Bethlehem was built around. I mean, the community grew up around the steel mill.
Yeah.
Which is typical.
I just want to get back my last point about, so everybody doesn't freak out, anger about the mother and whatnot. What I want to tell you is, most mothers are doing the best that they can. And what happens is, for different personality reasons and et cetera, and the different beings, a mother can have, for example, I'll use me, 2 daughters, kind of similar, but yet naturally able to just intuitively provide that personality type with what it needs and desires at the given moment, and completely out of tune with the other. That doesn't make, I want everybody to just, because everybody hypes up when I say the mother, anger at the mother, which is okay, you guys. You're allowed to be angry at anything you want. That's part of the process. That's part of the deciphering process. So that is, first of all, you got to know that that's okay. And second, just know, when you get to that point, to maybe let her off the hook. She just, for whatever reason, just like I'll meet somebody on the street and be in total vibe with them, and the next person, I'm so not a vibrational match to this. And it's just the way of, it's just the way of the world. It's all about variety. We didn't come here as spirit and take on these physical bodies. We didn't come here for sameness. Abraham, and a lot of fighting that goes on in this whole world is for sameness. Be like me. And it's pretty interesting because Abraham says, you want sameness? Everything's exactly the same. Good luck picking your car out of the parking lot.
Oh, so interesting.
Good luck finding your house.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
So the diversity is fine, but I just have had so much success with the people that I have worked with to sort of wrap their mind around, like, it just wasn't a vibrational match. It's nobody's fault. There's no blame here. And this is a huge opportunity to not only let go of my pain, but I also have a deeper discovery of who I am. And it turns out to be a really blossoming, expansive process. So in a way, it's a huge hidden blessing. It certainly was for me. And I know if anybody's interested besides myself, I know some others who you can do phone sessions with or whatnot if you want to work through that. It's important to it's not important. You can do it on your own. Sometimes it really helps to have someone help you through that guidance process, like Reverend Lynn or Tana Marie, who we're trying to get on the show. These women are also really, really good at this. So I just wanted to kind of lay that out and, put my disclaimer in there that we're not blaming mothers, but that I'm sorry, I got to tell you the truth. There has not been one,
I'd blame my mom, but she's probably in the chat room right now.
No!
So I got to be careful. No,
and I'd like to put out my disclaimer also. And I'd like to put out my disclaimer also. Cynthia did not say that she had a sex dream. She said she had a dream about having a boyfriend, which I think most women dream of. So that is not, so actually she said she had anxiety about having left her belongings around the expensive resort and that she had a boyfriend who was yelling at her about getting on the plane. Or that she was yelling about making sure that he's on time. So I think that's true for every woman out there.
Yeah, it is. And, we just can't let Ian Jacqueline think that I had a sex dream about him or I'll never hear the end.
Oh, that's going on Facebook right now.
Do it.
Oh, I won't.
Tell all lady parts there.
That's what I was trying to think of. Lady parts. That's what you called him. I would, because he's a badass and he probably kicked my ass, but I'll tell him you said
tough.
it.
That guy's tough.
Yeah, I'm not.
Pictures of him. He's intimidating. He's like a tough guy.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of him. I kick his ass.
I know Jiu-Jitsu, though. He knows karate or whatever, but I know Jiu-Jitsu.
I don't know. He knows how to kick people in the face, whatever that's
I know how to flip a table over and rip the leg off and start swinging. That's what I know how to do.
I know how to swing with my spike heels. That's how I do.
Yeah, look out. Look out.
I got one in the shin one time, a spiked heel.
I used to have a recurring fantasy about one of my exes that I was really angry at. I used to have it wasn't even a dream, it was like a waking fantasy. I used to have a recurring fantasy about kicking him in the head while wearing ice skates.
Ooh, that's good!
I have that fantasy too.
I don't have any.
Same guy.
I don't have a problem with grudges. I'm a Scorpio. I don't know what you're talking about. Who ever said anything about revenge and Scorpios? What?
That's leave it to Scorpio. That's awesome. Ice skate. Yeah. Well, this show has turned out to be about anger and the 80s.
Yeah.
Hey, I love the 80s, man. I wish I could go do the 80s all over again.
That's so
I think
funny.
I bypassed the mullet this time, but everything else I'd do pretty much.
Yeah, you know what I really miss, and they're coming back, is the beaded gowns, but it's me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the beaded gowns. You gotta, that, I think the beaded gowns is definitely a cure for cancer.
Oh, it's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, also, Vanessa brought something up. How do you say that again?
Well, Monsanto was something that we were talking about
let's segue.
Yeah.
I'm prepared now.
Yeah, cause we got no segue, so.
By the way, I do have the phone. Sorry, I'm just sitting here blabbing. I do have the phones forwarded, so anyone that wants to call in, can call in right now. Let me just, get the phone number and
I'll
read
say
it out. Okay, you go ahead and say
That's
it.
amazing.
There we go. Sorry about that. All right.
Wow. Yeah, that did not come out of my body, I swear.
Oh, that was me.
Oh. Call-in line is 718-717-8296. Once again, for the callers, 717, and because, nope, see, I was just gonna say, once again for the callers, and because I'm dyslexic, and then I did it.
Don't give him a 717 area code, that's Pennsylvania.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Isn't it? I'm pretty sure. I thought that was like outside Philadelphia, Lancaster area. Maybe I'm wrong.
Bethlehem.
Maybe it's Bethlehem.
It could be. You
Bethlehem.
called Jesus.
Maybe you called Jesus.
Okay, here we go. Area code 718-717-8296.
8296.
Yes,
you're right. 718-717-8296. That's 717 or 718-717-8296. Call us now.
If you can. If it's even possible.
Call the show or I'm coming to your house.
Uh-oh.
I'm just joking.
So,
okay, so we were going to segue into, because by the way, today is the worldwide march against Monsanto.
Oh, it is?
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
It's going on in cities all across America, all across the world. We didn't have a local one this year. Last year I had one here in Syracuse, and I got a lot of great footage, a lot of great pictures, and I had too much to do today. I was going to run up to Rochester and see if I could get Jules to pop down with me, but it just didn't work out. So, but at any rate, it is a good time to talk about Monsanto, GMO food, Roundup Ready seeds, and sort of the big ag and the way they speculate and force small farmers out of the marketplace.
So let's start at the beginning for the newcomers and people who are just hearing, kind of getting oriented to this for the first time. What is the company Monsanto? What is that?
All right. Hold on, I'm uploading. Okay. Well, Monsanto is a company that started, I think, back in 1901 as a chemical company. They made chemicals, pesticides, the chemicals, plastics. They were, in fact, Monsanto, back in the 60s was one of the first companies. There was a few different companies that had military contracts to produce, Agent Orange, with dioxin. They got rich selling things like DDT and PCBs, BGH, the growth hormone linked to cancer, their aspartame sweetener. That's how they began. They began as a chemical company that produced, plastics and other chemicals. Back in the 80s, though, I believe they started buying seed companies, and investing in the biogenetic research facilities, till now they are pretty much Monsanto either owns or has somebody who is on the executive board of almost every company in the world, literally, and I'm talking about all the companies like GE, GM, all these companies have little bits, have people from Monsanto. Almost every government on the planet has either Monsanto representatives, either working in their Department of Agriculture or as or a lobbyist. So it's a pretty insidious company. Their goal is to control food, not to feed the world. It's to control the world's food. Glyphosate and the glyphosate resistant Roundup Ready soybean, is being linked to all kinds of allergies and, contributing to other things like maybe autism and some of the other diseases that are prevalent.
So, if you don't mind, I need to interrupt because I'm a little bit lost. So, tell me about the Roundup Ready soybean. What is that?
Well, Roundup Ready soybean. Okay, so Roundup is glyphosate. It's a weed killer. It's a poison and a pesticide.
I was just going to say that and make a joke but then I thought I'd sound stupid.
And so what they've done is they've created genetically corn and soy that isn't killed, that can be sprayed with the glyphosates, which by the way cause cancer. And all lab rats and all research done leads to the fact that glyphosates cause cancer, cause rage. When mixed with, if you ask Jules, she'll tell you that a new study just came out. When you mix the glyphosates with other sort of SSRIs like Prozac or some of these other psychotropic drugs, they cause violent outbreaks or can tend to lead to violent outbreaks. Roundup Ready seed, Roundup Ready crops are plants that have a gene that resists the poison. So what they do is they plant the crops and then just spray the crap out of it. It kills everything but the Roundup Ready seed, which we then eat.
Oh.
Or they have another seed, which actually They've changed the genetics of the of the seed itself to produce glyphosate itself genetically.
Wow.
That's their other seed. So they have the two types. They have the Roundup Ready type, which is a seed that was genetically modified to be able to resist Roundup and other glyphosates. And then they have another seed that the plant itself produces genetically glyphosates. So either one.
Glyphosates are the one, is the pesticide, is that correct?
Pesticide, yes.
Okay, so they have two things that are being planted and grown, one of which looks like a healthy piece of corn or a healthy product, or soybean, for instance, but in fact, because it's resistant to the pesticide, is now coated with the pesticide and appears to have grown into a healthy thing to consume, but it's got this chemical on it, which, when consumed by a person, depending on what they've got in their system, can cause outbursts of rage, all kinds of terrible things, and probably nutritionally totally deficient.
Quite frankly, they control the FDA, they control the Department of Agriculture here in the United States, so there is no real good long-term testing of the safety of it. And they're out there lobbying every day in communities all around America, all around the world, to prevent the first of all, the banning of GMO food, and second of all, the mandatory labeling. Now, if it's safe to eat, then just label it. Say, hey, this is GMO corn. It's safe to eat.
Right.
They don't. And they won't. Not that I'm for mandatory labeling of your food, because you look at the organic farmers now, and in order to become an organic farmer, to have the organic farmer certification, you have to go jump through so many hoops, pay so many fees, fill out so many applications that the small guys have a hard time being able to sell things that say organic on it and have the organic label. It's and so I'm not really totally 100% on board with mandatory labeling, but it should be an industry standard that you label your food, whether it's GMO, whether it's got, what kind of pesticides were used. Why not? If it's safe, why can't you just label it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But the thing they like to do with these regulations, the FDA and these other agencies in the United States government, because they're bought and paid for by these giant global corporations and banks, is they rule and regulate you and I out of the war, out of competition. We can't afford to pay all the regulatory fees and fines, and we don't have lawyers that can find loopholes. So only the big boys get to stay, the Monsantos, the, Sargento, Cargill. Cargill's big out here, in upstate New York where I live.
Did you say Sargento like the cheese?
Well, there is a larger, agricultural company, big, Sargento, yeah, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. Now, isn't it true now in Europe, what something was going on in Europe? They were mandatory labeling of GMO, or they completely did away with GMO?
Well, there's a lot of countries around. I don't have the list of them right now, like, Brazil has banned GMO, Argentina has banned GMOs. There's some countries in Europe that have banned GMO crops. Others are lobbying to have them labeled.
Right, okay.
It's a movement. Yeah. I mean, it's a worldwide movement.
Don't you wonder what the people who know, like the people that are working with Monsanto or the people who are in the know about that, what are they eating? Like, you know what I mean?
I guarantee they're not eating genetically modified food. They're eating wholesome. They're eating non-GMO, open pollinated. They're eating heirloom varieties of vegetables. Not the stuff that they put out there for us, for the speculators to raise the price on. I mean, we're priced out of even the poison food.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
And, JG, are you still there?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I heard a little drop. That's all.
Syngenta, not Sargenta. Yes. Thanks, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. Sargento cheese, we have nothing against you.
Yes. We have nothing against the cheese. We love the cheese.
And I like to eat you.
Yes. That too.
Every way I can. So, I'd love to hear your point of view, JJ. Also, okay, so all of these chemicals and blah, 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 blah. Is it just to, what's really behind that? Is it to produce crops that are more inexpensive?
Well, that's their claim. I mean, they claim that Roundup is biodegradable. They've been, and have been ruled against in courts in Europe already. In France, the France's highest court ruled that Monsanto lied about the safety of its Roundup, the weed killer. They, they falsely advertise that it's biodegradable, and it isn't. It goes and it can work its way into the water supply, into the water table, and it can poison the food. So it doesn't go away. It's the gift that keeps on giving, and they knew that. Again, you have the bovine growth hormone that's been linked to all kinds of different problems. I don't know if you're familiar with BHG. But again, that's a Monsanto monstrosity.
What is it?
Bovine growth hormone?
Okay, yeah. So,
wait, I want to know what it is.
Hormone.
Explain to the unschooled what the bovine growth hormone. I mean, I can imagine, but tell us what it is.
Bovine growth hormone is, well, it's given to cows so that they will produce more. So they'll grow faster and produce more milk. I'm not really an expert on it, so I mean, you'll be putting me on the spot here.
Oh, sorry, that's okay. No, that's fine. So theoretically, it's grow a larger cow so you can sell more beef per pound, or more pounds per cow, and
or lactate more.
Yeah, and then have more milk to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is that it doesn't produce good milk.
Right.
I mean, on top of the antibiotics, but BGH, studies now are, see, the problem is again, Monsanto has its, former CEOs of Monsanto are at the FDA or at Department of Agriculture or at all levels of our government. And so no one ever knows that the BGH, the bovine growth hormone, is now linked to different types of cancer, and the pus. It produces a pus in the milk that as soon as you drink the milk, as soon as it hits your stomach, it turns to mucus.
Right. Do you want to hear something really sad? I was telling my friend.
Sad?
Sad.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's about me. Which is a sad topic across the board.
Oh my God, that was really funny.
Yes. I was like a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks, whatever. I was telling my friend about this. We're just having a nice conversation. We stumbled onto this. And we were talking about, growth hormones and milk and whatnot. I was telling her the story that, I love coffee, always put milk in my coffee or half and half, what have you. Just by whatever. After, about, I think 5 years after cancer, after I was, cancer free, then I started loosening up on the grip a bit, just because I knew I would never loosened up on the spiritual work. I got more and more intense, as you all know, and I drive you all crazy with it. So there's that. But I started doing, I'm not going to die if I have a coffee at Starbucks with real milk or fake milk, if you will, So I kind of got in that habit. This is so interesting. When I was in South Africa, I went to South Africa to do another Rock'em Sock'em movie. I drove the South Africans crazy because there's so many differences there that appear to the naked eye the same. And here's the sad one. So I order my coffee and they bring me my cream and I pour it in and it doesn't taste right. And I'm like, I sent it back. I was like, your milk is not, this is, something went sour or something. It didn't taste sour. It tasted really sweet. And bear in mind too, this was back in 1994. Thank you. And, so I sent it back 3 times. And then I had, when you do those movies out there, they assign you an assistant from the area. And so she tasted it, and she's like, Cynthia, it's fine. I'm not even going to do a South African accent.
Oh, my God. I wish you would.
It just turned into Russian. So I was like, I said, this tastes really different from our milk. And it was just like, okay. So it was interesting and took me a long time to get used to it. Didn't give it a whole lot of thought. But then when I was telling my friend the other day about it, she said, you know what I bet that was? She says, I bet back then all of this growth hormone stuff had not made it to South Africa yet, and you were tasting probably pure milk without all the chemicals, and all the junk in it,
Wow.
And I think she's right. The sad part is I liked my hormone processed GMO milk better just because I was used to it, which was a good lesson for us all. But then we started talking about it because, like, especially women who eat organic, they say that their breast milk is really sweet.
Huh.
And it was that kind of sweetness in that cow. So it was fascinating that, like, A, it tasted so different, and so did a lot of the fruits and vegetables there.
Yeah.
But specifically that milk, and B, that I was addicted to the crap.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I've never,
Don't cry for me, Argentina. Or Pasadena.
Go ahead. Oh my God. I just remember one of my friends from Italy was over here, said something about eating an organic banana and how I needed to have this organic banana. I've never been a banana person anyway.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really what does that mean? What does that mean? Is that a dick joke that I don't understand? What is that?
I have no idea what that means. It just came out. Sorry, ladies and gents.
It's okay. Anyway, I remember eating this organic banana, and I was like, oh my God, this tastes like a banana from when I was a child.
Right.
And it was so, each bite was packed with so much flavor. It was like all I could think of was like, is it like candy banana? Like it's a fake. It seemed unreal. It seemed unnatural to me because it was so densely packed with flavor. And what I was used to was this stretched out, ridiculous banana that had 10% of its original flavor.
Right. That's so funny because we had these, they take, and I'll have these guests back on the show, they take even the organic farming into what's called towers. And so they're taking it one step even farther. And they're great guests. I'll have them on again. But I was telling them that, my family were kind of always gardeners and theirs. And so, in the backyard, there was always, all kinds of stuff like corn and, we had tomatoes and lots of flowers and all this. And we grew a lot of our own food. And the thing is that, my father grew the corn and, it was just like so unbelievably sweet and delicious. And we always asked him here's the punchline. We always said, well, what's your secret? And he says, I pissed on it.
Oh my God, amazing.
What,
that's
for
my dad.
For foot fungus? I hear it's good. Urine is great for foot fungus.
Okay.
Now back 15 years ago when I used to drink, I peed on my feet a lot. I guess I never really had to worry about foot fungus.
Oh my God. Or jellyfish, for that matter.
Yes, exactly.
That's amazing. Your drunken stupor saved you from acid.
15 years sober now. 26, my daughter's 16th birthday will be my 15th year of not without a drop of alcohol.
Good for you. How are your feet?
My feet, they're all mildewy and it's gross. Now I have fungus all over them.
Oh,
they look like mushrooms. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, anyway, yeah, it was so interesting because, the corn tasted so differently because, it was in, like, not treated soil, et cetera, et cetera. And so I know exactly, and there's I can't even get that now. I mean, I could put, like, a whole, a teaspoon of every bite of my corn. It's still not going to be as sweet as that was. It's just so interesting, the taste difference.
Yeah, we've been conditioned to, I found out last year that, unbeknownst to anybody, we've been eating GMO wheat since the 60s. And that's why we're having all these gluten problems. And, I mean, look at the food we've got now. When I was a child back in the 70s and the 80s in school, you could bring peanuts and peanut butter to school. They had, you know what I'm saying? Listen, today, if I were to send my kid, like your 6-year-old kid, you send him to first grade with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I swear to God, they might tase him. They'll come down with a squat. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yes. Are you kidding? There's so many peanut allergies now today, and they pushed it to the point where now, if you bring peanuts to school, other parents feel like you're endangering their children.
I see. Yeah. And the peanut allergy is due to all of the GMOs.
Genetically modified organisms.
Right.
Why? How do you mess with what the Father gave us?
Right.
So I really don't know. This is a truly innocent question. Do we know what we can be doing?
Thank you.
Do we? I mean, is it like a question of mobilize? I mean, obviously today they're doing massive protests, which is fantastic. But like, is it organize, mobilize, and lobby against the people who have the government in their pockets right now and just try to round up enough money? What do we do?
Well, here's some of the things that you can do. You can buy organic food. You can vote with your dollars. You can demand that, GMO food be labeled. You can, there's a lot of things to be proactive. You can print flyers and, if you feel like it, you can, what I used to do is I used to print out fully informed jurors, cards and go down to the courthouse and slip them under people's windshield wiper blades. I almost got arrested a couple of times doing that. I mean, so you could do the same thing in a supermarket with GMO flyers. You vote with your dollars. Just don't buy food. You can go to againstthewall.info, which is my website, and just, in the search tab, look for, organic seeds, and I've got lists of companies that provide organic seeds, and companies that provide organic, non-GMO foods, and that's one of the things you can, avoid processed foods. I mean, are we going to be able to overnight shut down a multinational $1 trillion corporation? No. So at this point, the only thing that you can do right now is what I was saying, do a few of the things you can do to raise awareness. First and foremost, protect yourself. You've already beat cancer once, dear. You don't want to have to do it again. And so, avoid the processed foods, avoid corn and soy and cottonseed oil and canola, sugar beet sugar. All these things are in the genetically modified, arena. You can call and send letters to, your public officials, to your town. Create a small presentation on a wet magic marker board, and a whiteboard, and go in and show, do some research, show the people in your town, advocate, organic, co-ops, like, one just opened up the road for me. I'm going up there, I'm volunteering up there, helping him with his barn. There's a lot of different things, go and talk to some of your smaller local farms and find out what their plight is. Support, the local efforts to pass these, labeling legislations. Right. Quite frankly, if it's safe, then label it. If it's safe, show it, don't be bashful.
Right, yeah.
Stand by your product.
And I just, I'm looking at the time, and I want everybody to get a chance to get their info out there. But you know what? Can you say, JJ, your website again? Because it is a great website.
My website is againstthewall.info. That's one website I'm associated with. And the other one is freedompalooza.com, and pokerface.com.
Awesome. And my dear Vanessa, how can one reach you?
You can follow me at Vanessa Logan 80 at Twitter. And also Instagram, Vanessa Logan 80 on Instagram as well.
Is Instagram new? Or
Instagram's new. My kids are. I don't know about it yet.
It's
no, I know about it, but I didn't know you were on it.
I'm on Instagram. Yeah. Or Facebook. You can hit me up on Facebook. Also, I'm Vanessa Logan on Facebook.
You didn't say someone can hit you in the face with a book. I hope you didn't just say that.
Last week.
We'll set Ian on them.
So, hit me up. You can follow me on Facebook.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit me up, knock me up. I'm not picky.
Knock me up on Facebook with a book.
Exactly.
I want to get on Instagram.
It's fun.
It sounds fun. Yeah.
Cool.
And then also you can reach me on Facebook or knock me up again to J. Cynthia Brooks Official at Facebook, or House of Healing, J. Cynthia Brooks on Facebook. Got that website that's going up. It's not quite finished yet. That's going up as well if you have more questions for me. Also, just wanted to chime in that I'm having fun starting another crowdfunding project for my charity for people who want to treat themselves with alternative medicine.
Yeah. Can you name that charity? I'd like to look into that myself and become involved.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, anything, you know what I mean? Advice, information, all of that. Well, actually, that's House of Healing right now. And the GoFundMe, I'll post that on my Facebook pages as well. It's just another crowdfunder GoFundMe, but it's a little more personal, and it had been brought to my attention that it would be a better place just to raise awareness that this charity exists. And that's what that's about. And the charity, all the details is on the website. But again, in short, it's just, we've had so many guests that they've gone through so much, a lot of them still are going through the chemicals first, chemo, radiation, and then it fails them. They're so far into debt, there's no way. And you know, organic food is a little bit more.
Not only that, but their organs are starting to fail now from the radiation.
Yep, absolutely. In which case, when that happens, the thing that I really, really recommend is a Rife machine, because that will get you, again, from point A to point B as quickly as possible. I used a Rife machine, even though I never took chemo or radiation or surgery, but I also used a Rife machine. We can get you in touch with people who can give you a Rife machine, or get a Rife machine to you, but these machines are quite expensive as well. Again, they're, starting at, $1,500, I wouldn't even, because that's going to be a lesser machine, and I have someone specific, a couple that I work with that make really superior Rife machines.
There are some out there.
Yeah.
But you know what my passion is. Pure high grade indica oil extract.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, yeah, my point is
not the be all end all, but that's my passion. Right. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about Rife, and it's hard to find information about it because they don't want it out there.
No, they don't. So you can get that information from me. You can get that information on Ian's website, icurecancer.com. But that's the whole point, is for people who are really needing these things, but they don't have, the money to afford, they can't afford them now, because even with insurance, they're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and it's their life, And that's what I remember, is that I was selling everything, my furniture, everything, just because I was like, I got to make a choice between my life and my material goods and what. So
well, the truth is if insurance would cover it, you could cure your cancer for under $10,000.
Absolutely.
Probably. Instead of $1 million, $500,000, your average cancer, billed to insurance by the time when you finally do expire horribly.
Right. Well, it's really, I want to put a thank you out to all of the supporters on Facebook too, because a number of them have pointed out that my charity is actually kind of setting, it's like a new grid or a new blueprint. And, if it becomes successful, what's going to happen is, which is my hope, is that the insurance companies are going to, start providing insurance for alternative medicine. And I do think it's going to happen. Alternative medicine is not going away, especially with Dr. Oz, and like 99% of his shows are alternative medicine. It's not going away. So hopefully this blueprint, and sooner or later the insurance companies are going to wake up and see that, there's a huge need for that. And they don't really care about the need, they care about the money. But like, if there's an insurance company, I love what you said, vote with your dollars. Vote with your dollars. Totally. Yeah, that's how you do that. So that's what the charity is all about, in short. It's just assisting those people. And I just feel as though, and like the supplements that I took, not cheap. Oh, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to see you all.
Thank you so much, JJ, for everything, for doing the show and being our buddy and chiming in here.
I believe in angels, and I believe in you. I believe in the simple things and everything you do. I believe in the heavens above, and I believe in truth. I believe in the love we have, because I believe in you.